So,
oh, dude, I'm in your same boat, and I sit here and I play that over in my head, and I try and look for things that shows that he is of the better side, and I can see some stuff, but it's like I don't want to go there. I'm holding on to that fence. I'm ready to jump off of it, but
I didn't vote for the guy. Hey, let me tell you, I did not vote for President Obama. I voted for Chuck Baldwin, who is a representative from North Florida. Only reason why is because I wanted to vote for Ron Paul, but dropped out, and Chuck Baldwin was running third party, and he had the same platform as Ron Paul. I believe in those type of things. I loved the platform that Ron Paul was talking to and carried on, but he dropped out, so I used my vote to go to Chuck Baldwin. I mean, I have nothing to hide, okay? And my friend told me.
Yeah, I don't have. I studied and studied and studied all of the Rothschild stuff and the Federal Reserve stuff. I bet you 85% of the people in the United States, if you told them the Federal Reserve wasn't part of the federal government, I've been in lots of arguments with people around here that, the Federal Reserve.
I have to.
And so, I understand all that stuff. It's just,
but the people
I guess the thing is, the group of players that we're looking at is just hard for me to believe are good people. I mean, if all the books have all got to be written as fiction, I'm sorry. Yeah, I do appreciate the call, though. Thanks, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Area code 719.
Yeah, hi, this is Colorado. Fran, this is my first time to get to hear you. And you spoke some words that were just music to my ears when you said it's done. And you were speaking to the lady that was asking about the FDA, and you were speaking about the drugs. And I just want to tell you that what you're saying lines up with what my understanding is and what I've heard about what's coming. And I would like to make a comment with regard to something you've been trying to explain here. When you talked about this eternal peace that's coming. And what you're describing is something that most people on this call may not realize, that if they could stop and think for a moment what it would feel like if all war, all disharmony, all feelings of animosity were lifted off of this earth, they can remember the story of when Christ was born, and the shepherds were in the field, and the angels came, and they sang a song, and they said, peace and goodwill to all men on earth. And that's what you're describing, and people can't quite yet grasp what you have grasped, and what I have an inkling and a feeling about. It's hard.
We just lost her?
Yeah, we just lost the lady.
She'll be back. We know who she is.
Area code 816.
Hi, Fran.
Hi.
I have a comment and a question. The part that bothers me is when we say peace, peace. I think of the scripture that says peace and destruction, and that part bothers me. The other part is in reference to the Kuwait leaders resigning. I believe that yesterday.
Mm-hmm. I believe it was
Kuwait.
Yeah.
The Kuwait. Well, there was. I heard. Now, I don't know. I didn't see this on the news because I didn't turn the news on tonight. But I had heard the leaders of Kuwait. I heard it on a PTR call. That's where I heard it. Recorded call. That the leaders of Kuwait had resigned.
Mm-hmm.
Does that have anything to do what you're talking about that's going to be happening worldwide?
Will also be arrested. Remember,
okay, but is that the reason? Is that the reason they resigned, though?
Mm-hmm.
Did you say,
Yeah, I said yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that, as I said, the part that bothers me is the scripture that says, peace, peace, sudden destruction. It's what I was visualizing is everybody being so happy and elated, knowing more deaths, and this is the most time in which people would be vulnerable for the Antichrist to take place. But I know there's a lot of other things that got to take place before that could be anyway, because that son of perdition has to appear in the temple. So I'm just kind of a little concerned there.
I agree with you on that one, ma'am.
So that was just my comment and my question.
I lost my board, so I hope I didn't lose everybody in the Q&A.
No, I'm right here. I got it, Beth. Go ahead. Now, the next one would be area code 907. Hold on. There we go. Go ahead.
Oh, I yield the floor. Thanks. I think I've heard enough.
Area code 708. You are...
Yes, hello.
Yep.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. One thing I don't understand is when Obama's mother married an Indonesian, and Indonesia did not allow dual citizenship, so she had to give up her American citizenship, and Barack had to give up his. Barack attends school in Indonesia for over 6 years. Each year he lists his nationality as Indonesian, his religion as Muslim. Eventually they come back to the United States. He applies for and receives a student loan as a foreign national. So how does he become a U.S. citizen?
He was born of an American mother and an American father. I'll leave it at that. Wait for the disclosure and you'll find out the remainder of it.
Yeah, but they had to relinquish their citizenship, which married the Indonesian. And they listed their nationality as Indonesian for over 6 years.
All right, sir, let me kind of explain something. He said earlier already that the information that we got before from that, what you're saying before, is that that's not his real grandmother?
No, that's his real grandmother, in Kenya.
Well, according to what they've told us, of course.
Yeah.
But he's silent for a reason, so we're just going to have to go with that for right now.
Okay, thank you.
It'll be told to you. I promise you, it will be told to you.
Okay, area code 512. You are up. 512, area code.
Hey, Wayne.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, okay, I'm back again. Listen, I was going to ask a question again in reference to France. That
Yes, sir.
Listen, you make a lot of sense, and I appreciate that. And again, I want to go back to the scriptures and the Exodus 20 and 12, where it says, "Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long on the land of the living." And all actuality, we're still talking about going back to the origin, and we're going back to Iraq, number one. Okay, where the first man and woman was created. So, what is this intel on that?
God, you got me.
Well, one of the key things is this, and I have to be kind of pro-Obama because he has been getting hit with so many things, and this is what I'm saying. the first man, okay, that was up on the earth. We have to go on and realize that he was black, okay? I may get some hits on that, but it's okay. I'm a Vietnam veteran. I've been hit several times. But it goes back to creation. And I think this is all part of God's plan, is bringing us back to where God wants us to do. And I think we ought to respect, number one, because, the man has been hit so many times with negativity and everything. So what is your position on that?
Well, I think he's a white guy. You think he's a black guy? I'm Italian from my heritage, and my skin's darker than his.
I can appreciate that answer, but when you look at the region, you have to be a man of color. So
this is how it was explained to me.
Okay.
That because they groomed him for it, they wanted the people of the world to look at a man who is both black and white. And they wanted us to all look at him and say, he is still our brother, and get the prejudice out of our hearts.
I agree with you that, but I'm going back to the origin. The origin. Yeah, I'm going back to the origin in the garden where the Euphrates and the Tigris River runs through Iraq. In the Garden of Eden, okay, which is a continent at that time, and even though it's separated because of the flood, if we would visually think about the globe, if you put it together, we would find out that everything fits together before the flood, that they all joined together. So my position, again, is I still hear God saying that the first become last and the last become first. And again, I had made a statement earlier when I had made a statement that said, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long on the land of living. In other words, you ought to give credence to the first father and the first mother, which is of color, okay? And it could be a great possibility, and I've heard you say that they have groomed Obama, and then you put some more golden nuggets in it. You say he's black and white. So, I just want to know how you feel about that.
I don't know how to answer that. I think he's a great guy now that I know him. And I never personally shook his hand or seen him. But I look at some of the things that he has done that my friend has told me, and I'm like, this guy is a really good person.
And he is of the good guys, am I correct?
Yes.
So I don't think for about 6 or 8, 9 months, we've been saying, well, not we, but others have said he's been holding up the so-called RV. Secondly, I want to throw this out to the listeners that we have to understand with the Obamacare and all these things. Listen, if it was not for this Dinar getting ready to revalue, he's in for us, even if we didn't know about it. But all of a sudden, we got